Well, after weeks of protests by writers across the country, where more than 40 writers, in fact, returned their Sahitya Akademi awards to the Academy's board met today and finally passed a resolution strongly condemning the killings of rationalists and authors, and in a statement also supported the right to freedom of expression in all languages of India, condemning strongly any atrocity against any writer anywhere in the country. Well, this is a statement that many writers had been hoping would have come much earlier, but it has finally come today. Joining us on the program now is eminent author Vikram Seth. Vikram Seth had told NDTV that he would in fact consider returning his award if the Sahitya Akademi did not take a stand on this. Vikram Seth, your first reaction to this statement, you've had a chance to go through it. Do you welcome it? What do you think?
I certainly welcome it. It's a statement which is strong as I could have expected, and indeed in some senses even broader. I consider it a noble statement, and I am both relieved and grateful that the board of the Sahitya Akademi has made the statement that it has. It shows that it has not been, it's acted as an independent body. It's condemned any attempt to suppress free speech, and of course the ultimate suppression of free speech is where you stop the lips and deaden the hand, in other words, murder. It has also condemned what is the atmosphere of fear that is sought to be inculcated by acts of assassination such as these, and this form of fear or terror, in effect terrorism, has been condemned in the strongest possible terms. I am very happy that this has happened. At the same time, I should also express... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You should also express?
Well, I should also not ramble on. But Nidhi, one of the things that I should also say, that had it not been for the writers who gave up their awards, I don't believe that this meeting would have been brought forward from December. Who knows what would have happened between now and then, but certainly the atmosphere of fear, of discomfort and of suppression of free speech would have continued. And I do not think, as some do, that it's an easy thing for writers to give up their awards. Remember that writers, unlike people in other professions, live quite isolated professional lives. And for them to get a mark of approbation from their peers, their fellow writers, is something that gives them great comfort. It may not improve their writing one way or another, that's neither here nor there, but it gives them comfort in their isolated professional lives. To give up something like this is an act of courage.
Certainly, and when you look at the Academy statement today, there is not one but two references to Professor Kalburgi's murder. Also, the Academy demanding that the centre and states maintain an ambience of peaceful coexistence, urging communities to put aside differences on grounds of caste and religion. Is that where you feel that the statement actually went beyond what you expected?
Yes. I think it's wonderful.
And therefore, do you think the writers should take back their awards now?
That's for them. I certainly think that if it's possible, I would most deeply welcome the fact that they're the ones who made the chief executives of the Academy bring forward this meeting. If anyone merits an award, and if anyone merits the approbation not only of writers but of society at large, it's them. I would certainly hope that they would find some way of retaining these awards. I don't know what the mechanics of it is.
One of the things, and you alluded to that as well, that has come up in this entire controversy has been the autonomy of the Academy itself. And there was a sense that by being silent on all these issues, the Academy was compromising on its own integrity, on its autonomy. And today, do you think that by issuing this statement, they have reasserted their autonomous nature?
I think so. There was, from what I understand, quite a lot of pressure on them certainly from the non-response to Mr. Daruwala's letter, and the mention that Sahab hum pe bahut pressure hai. But they have certainly shown themselves independent. Of course, now it's in the hands of the powers that be to follow through vigorously on investigating the assassinations not only of Kalburgi and Pansare, which took place under this union government, but also that of the Holkar, which took place under the previous one. I think no matter what the government, this has sent a strong message that writers will maintain their own autonomy and respect those of others. One other line that you didn't mention was the final line of the statement about, people in all walks of life. So it goes beyond writers, this idea of amity, of comity, of tolerance and of respect.
We also saw, however, writers themselves very divided on this issue. Today there was a parallel protest that another group of writers was carrying out, saying that the return of the awards was a political gimmick. It was only being done to target the government. How do you look at that?
Well, there are two thoughts that come to my mind about that. The first is, I think it's very difficult, as I said before, for writers to give up their awards. But that's one thought. So I don't think one should attribute purely political motives. Of course, we do not operate in a vacuum, and literature, history, politics all merge. It's a seamless continuum. Some writers might think it's something specific to the Academy. Others might go much wider. Some might even feel it's a criticism of the government or the ambience that we are facing as a whole. But the other thought that comes to my mind is that writers are individual people. They're not co-conspirators in some sort of plot. We don't sing from the same song sheet. So it's certainly possible that some writers think that giving up the awards was silly or immature, whatever they think. The other writers might think that not giving up the award was cowardice. I don't believe either of those. I think that our strength lies in the fact that we are individual voices who can, on crucial matters, come together.
Except a senior minister like Arun Jaitley doesn't think so. He wrote in his Facebook post a few days ago that he believes this is a manufactured revolt. It's a case of ideological intolerance against the BJP. He has clearly attributed political motives to this protest, talking about writers with a left or Nehruvian leaning who've been recognized by the government in the past. What is the message you'd give to him today?
Well, Arun Jaitley is one of the very few people who spoke out very early about the dreadful lynching at Dadri, when other people remained fairly quiet for an unconscionably long period of time. Arun Jaitley is one of the very few people in that party who spoke out about the ridiculousness of Section 377, this foreign law that's been imposed upon India. Yet Arun Jaitley is also a politician, and he's a person of independent views. He has every right to express his view that he thinks these writers are political, which I suppose includes me. And I have every right to disagree with him. In this particular case, I strongly disagree with him.
Well, finally, Vikram Seth, on these incidents that we have seen, including now the horrible incident in Faridabad where these Dalit children were burnt alive, and Dadri as well. Would you like to see a clear, strong condemnation of everything that is happening from the top, from the Prime Minister himself? Are you surprised that he still hasn't made a very clear-cut statement on these?
I am surprised.
All right. Vikram Seth, thank you very much for joining us on the program today and your first reaction there to the Sahitya Akademi's resolution. Thank you very much.